Mehryn, Michael, Happy New Year. Apparently, our producer forgot which video to play over our time off, Mehryn.
Oh, that's okay. We needed a double intro to get this year started right? 2023. Where's our air horn? Do we have sound effects?
I have a siren. I don't know. We can do the siren.
Yeah.
But that's it. But there was a lot of news. Hope everybody had a great holiday. Welcome back, everybody. We've got a big year ahead for us with Microsoft Teams Rooms, a big year ahead for us here on selling Microsoft Teams Rooms. And Mehryn, why don't we start with 41 big ideas that will change our world in 2023?
This was a good find by you, and I started diving into it. I didn't get all the way through before we started our show here, but obviously number one on the list is hits home to us. This is what we talk about day in, day out. Hybrid work is here to stay, and there's quite a few others actually that are on that list that do pertain to what we do within the collaboration space, but I thought this was a great find.
I thought this was a great article because it does highlight hybrid work. We have been talking about it for 2 years, but here we are 2 years later, and it's still the number one big idea that will change our world in 2023, according to LinkedIn, who reference a lot of the things that we, as Microsoft, our partners reference, the Work Study Index, all the things that we do that we quote is 100% in this article. So go ahead and take a look at the other 40 big ideas that are going to change our world, because number one are us.
Yeah. A lot of good reading material in there.
A lot of good stuff. AV Magazine, also you found this as well?
Yeah, so this is one that several of our readers have contributed to, or our listeners have contributed to. This is one that we missed, unfortunately, back October, November, AV Magazine. So if you subscribe to that, I actually do get it at my house. I just haven't read it yet. But I looked at the digital version, and there's a whole section dedicated to Teams Rooms. So all about the opportunity around Teams Rooms, tackles key questions. It goes deep into our signature rooms. We've got a spotlight, I think, on AV-ISPL in there. So just really overall, I think it's 10 pages in total. So if you haven't had a chance, go ahead and check it out.
Yeah, I think our friends in AV have been really, really big about adopting Teams Rooms and helping our customers actually adopt a solution that really works if you are deploying Teams across your entire organization. And speaking of that, our friends at Draper actually made an announcement this month and specifically quoted Front Row.
Yeah, and I think this is something that's more to come. Like last time I attended InfoComm, and I'm excited for ISE in the coming weeks, was, all right, let's walk around and see what we see in 21x9. And it was kind of slim pickings. I think this year is going to be dramatically different. I mean, the amount of things we've seen in 21x9 format is ridiculous. And I think we're only going to see a whole lot more coming in the new year. So this is something I'm super excited about.
Absolutely. And I'm thankful to actually announce that I got budget to travel to ISE. So you and I will be over there in person to see a lot of this stuff. So I think it's an amazing way that the AV community and Draper have actually seen what customers are asking for and sort of pivoted their business inside in that world. Also at CES this week, Mehryn, you and I were talking right before this about all the different things that were announced at CES.
Yeah, this is usually a really exciting week for me. I used to go to CES every year for many, many years, and it's just always a good indication of what's new and exciting. I feel like a lot of things hit the consumer market before they hit commercials. So just for me, I always have my eyes open this week, and it's a nice way to kick off the year. It's all about innovation. So we had some nice announcements around Windows 11. They gave a great, in this tweet here, you'll see Panos Panay, who represents our Microsoft 365, go through voice features, where they basically did a demo of basically eliminating all background noise, and they were doing it on a chipset that really doesn't draw from your PC usage. We do a stream here. You've got to close everything out, make sure you're not using up background tasks, but this really doesn't put a lot of weight on your CPU, and I thought it was a great example of technology that will soon impact our space as well.
I'm a tech guy, so I dump into these things all the time. So it's exciting to see. Now, Mehryn, I also put this slide back in. If you have not seen the Teams Devices Playbook, please go look at this. As a partner, I think there is so much information in here that not only helps you, but can actually be taken into your organization and help for deploying at customers. I think it's important to understand there is so much information packed into this document that it's constantly expanding. And if you have feedback, you can give it to us as well.
Yeah, this is repetition. We're going to keep bringing this one up because we want to make sure that everybody's using it.
Everybody needs to look at this. I think there's 4 slides specifically in this that if I were a partner, would take out and put this into practice in my organization and say, hey, when we go to a customer and they have purchased the Teams Room system, make sure that this document is inside of their hands. Also, during our time off, what's new in Microsoft Teams in December, Mehryn?
Yeah, and I honestly did not dip into this one. I'm fresh off vacation as of Wednesday, so I might need your help kind of giving me a quick little rundown on this one.
a whole bunch of new devices, including occupancy sensors for that Teams panel that sits outside of the room. But another exciting announcement was that Teams Premium, and it was in what's new in December. Teams Premium is now available in public preview, but there's still some confusion around this, Mehryn.
There is Premium. And that was what Teams Rooms Premium, which we got rid of, and now we have Teams Rooms Pro. And now there's a Teams Rooms Premium, which is an added license on top of 365 that gives you an explosive amount of new features with your individual subscriptions. So it can get confusing, but I, for one, I think we're all at Microsoft the beneficiary of some of these new feature updates that are just amazing. So I think it's awesome. Check it out.
In my mind, Premium is now Teams Desktop and Pro is Teams Rooms. And that's the way that I'm remembering, and I'm trying to get that out to people, but it is something that sort of crossed a little bit of barrier there. So Mehryn, Wall Street Journal, also more bosses are demanding that people come back to the office this year.
Yeah, so this is one, interesting times. We're looking at an interesting economic situation, I will say at the moment, not quite a recession yet, but obviously fear of one, and certainly impacting global markets differently. But with the job market, obviously, it sort of feels like the power is back with the companies of sort of maybe making those demands for workers to come back. So this constantly I feel like it's a seesaw. It goes back and forth, and it'll be interesting to sort of see how that plays out in the coming months.
It is interesting. We even had another company, Shopify, this week. I don't have a slide for it, but Shopify announced that they're getting rid of all recurring meetings, and they're letting people have a fresh start for this year. So it's an interesting time. I think what we saw on LinkedIn, that number one biggest idea for 2023, hybrid work. I think everybody's still trying to figure out what it is. I think the more that we talk about it inside of mainstream media, the more it's going to get traction. The more people have to think about how do we go back to the office and how do we actually work.
Right. I mean, obviously, they're thinking about how they approach work and making big decisions based on that. So we're a pretty important part of that conversation in the category of work that we support people in. So, yeah, it'll be a fun ride, 2023, right? We're off to an interesting start.
It'll be a fun ride. And our friends at Microsoft Teams on their YouTube channel, they just put out a new video about designing more inclusive signature Microsoft Teams rooms. Some of the many things that we speak to partners about, making sure that there's face-to-face engagement, table width, all of the camera at eye level, all of the things that we sort of hint at and give in the Learn documents, it's now in a video as well, where we can actually help people. This is the idea of where we are going and why we are doing what we're doing.
Yeah, and in the world of Microsoft, like we used to have this as called enhanced Microsoft Teams rooms. It's now signature. And to Jimmy's point, there are a list of different features that define what is a signature Teams room. So make sure you familiarize yourself with that. It'll walk you through, and it's a quick 1-minute video that goes through each of those different features.
Mehryn, we've got Roadmap Watch. We've got actual videos to introduce the Roadmap Watch. And on the roadmap, out this week is actually chat bubbles. Now, this is also inside of the XML document that you can load to a Microsoft Teams room on Windows, but now every single view can have chat. It's not just front row anymore, Mehryn.
Yeah, and we've said it before, chat in itself has become its own meeting. If you're not looking at chat and you're presenting, oftentimes people are like, wait, somebody's got their hand up, somebody's got a comment, and you're like, well, like you're blind without chat. So chat is a really important feature, but we do also give you the ability to remove it if you don't want it. So you've got options now, which is awesome.
You've got options now under the View tab. You can actually do things and turn it off. Mehryn, we've got videos.
We've got videos.
Upcoming events. I want to remind everybody, we had an incredibly successful learning opportunity last half where we went ahead and we taught every 2 weeks. That's continuing this half as well. So if you have not signed up yet, go ahead and sign up at Learning About Teams Rooms, aka.ms/Learning About Teams Rooms. Our first one will be the future of Teams meetings. We've got an incredible amount of knowledge to share. We've got some pretty spectacular things that we can talk about on here. And this is an interactive event where you come on, it's a Teams meeting. You can talk to the people that are presenting, you can ask questions, and we can have conversations. So Mehryn, like I said, it's an upcoming thing. Make sure that you've registered. We did sell out on a lot of the events last year, so make sure you come early.
Yeah, surprisingly, we say sell out, but we literally had thousands of people attend that last time. So make sure you add it to your calendar. We got a lot of great positive feedback on the last one, and we've got a whole host of presenters that are fantastic. So you definitely don't want to miss out.
Absolutely. And that does it for our first episode of the new year. I know we're coming up on almost a full year selling Teams Rooms. I want to thank everybody in the community. Thank you, everybody, for waking up with us on a Friday.
Yeah, almost a year in. Super exciting. We love you. Happy 2023. Wishing you all a wonderful year. And thank you so much. Again, make sure you participate. Send us your knowledge, things that you want to share. This is a community, and we absolutely appreciate all your input.
Yeah.
All right.